delicate and how grave the situation is. Because of the communication blackout, the reality is yet to surface, but it is quite serious.
Are you disappointed by the reaction or the lack of reaction of many countries regarding this problematic?
I'm very encouraged to see the response of the media. International media has been very good, despite the hurdles and the obstructions in their way, despite the lack of access they have. I'm very encouraged by the response of the human rights organizations, but I still think the many European countries are recognizing what the reality is, but not speaking up because of political considerations.
Was Pakistan surprised by the Indian decision a month ago, what they did and decided in Kashmir?
Yes, it was an extreme step. Many within India also were taken aback by this decision, and you can see from the reaction from the opposition within India. Many have gone to the Supreme Court against the 5th of August measures taken by the Indian government. Yes, they've been talking about this for a while, but nobody could expect that they would take such an extreme measure which will violate their own commitments, violate their own constitution, violate Security Council resolutions, the UN Charter and international law, and on top of that, alienate all shades of Kashmiri opinion.
Do you see possible steps for de-escalation, and what could these steps be?
Well, to begin with, I think they need to immediately lift the curfew, restore basic facilities. There's no internet service, no mobile service. Children are being deprived from schooling. Patients have no access to hospital. So improve the life of the ordinary Kashmiri. Then rescind the action they have taken and think of a resolution. And the resolution that the way forward is the Security Council resolutions. It's on the agenda of the Security Council. After a gap of 5 decades, the situation was discussed in the Security Council. So the India has to live up to its commitments made to the international community.
Are these steps you describe, are they kind of preconditions for talks between Pakistan and India on this issue?
I do not see the possibility of a bilateral engagement with India in the near future. I do not see that. This extreme step that they have taken has been very disappointing. When our government came into office, which is slightly over a year now, we've been sending overtures and messages that we are willing to engage, but they were reluctant. They were avoiding sitting with Pakistan. The unilateral action that they have taken has disappointed many in Pakistan, and people feel that they have gradually moved from multilateralism to bilateralism, and from bilateralism to unilateralism. And the kind of mindset that this government has, the present BJP government, it's an extension. It's the political arm of the RSS, which is an extreme right-wing body. it will be pointless sitting with them because we will make no headway. So what if any way forward has to be looked into, it has to be mediation or third-party facilitation.
You said that you and Pakistan are open for a mediation, to involve a mediator. You're now in Switzerland. The Indian president will be in Switzerland at the end of the week. Do you see a role for Switzerland in that kind of mediation?
Well, I am told that I read somewhere that the Swiss government has included Kashmir as one of the talking points with the Indian president. I think they should raise the issue because it is a very serious situation, and it's a situation which has threatened peace and security of the region.
How do you see the risk of an escalation, even in this situation? I mean, an escalation between nuclear powers, two nuclear powers?
The risk is real. I'm not exaggerating. The risk is real. We are fearful of a false flag operation leading to some kind of a retaliation, and that retaliation spinning out of control.
So also a new arms race between the two powers?
Well, if the tensions stay at this level, then the possibility is there.
But so far you are still on the position saying that war is not the solution, so you insist on diplomacy. You think you can stick to that?
The reason we say that is there are two nuclear armed states. War between them will have consequences beyond the region, and it will be mutually suicidal. So any sensible individual would say war is not an option. But then you've seen when nations go to war, events overtake them.
Just briefly on another issue, on another hot issue in the headlines these days, the stop of the talks between the US and the Taliban, which were strongly supported by Pakistan. How